Hello children, we have so many people with pets around us. किसी के पास dogs हैं, cats हैं, लेकिन क्या चूहा भी किसी के पास pet होता है? शायद, मगर चूहा किसी का friend भी हो सकता है. Let us read in the story, My Friend the Mouse. I made a friend of a mouse. I had never known a mouse before, and this new comradeship taught me a sad lesson in love and loyalty. Sometimes I took shortbreads to bed to keep under my pillow and munch while I read fairy tales. This was forbidden, but I knew that Mama expected me to do it anyway, and that her only interest in the matter was keeping her conscience and record clear. मतलब मम्मी को पता है ये बच्चा करेगा, बस सिर्फ बोलना भर था कि ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए. So I disregarded the injunction. The mouse, I soon discovered, was gnawing at the shortbreads while I slept. मतलब जब ये बच्चा सोता था तो वो चूहा आके उस शॉर्टब्रेड, एक टाइप का बिस्किट है जिसको कि कुतरता था. I caught him in the act one morning. Fortunately, Mama had not yet time to teach me to fear mice. अभी तक ममा को टाइम नहीं मिला था कि मुझे चूहे से डरना सिखा सकती. I wished him to remain with me so that I might have him for a pet. Fervently, I asked the Lord to make it so that no one would see the mouse and set a trap. But Papa entered my room one night and saw the mouse. "Huh?" he said as a grey streak flashed across the room. What was that? What was where? I asked naively. मतलब pretend किया. What was that which just now appeared and disappeared? Me? I saw nothing. You promised to fix my skates. My father frowned and sat down slowly on the bed. But in a moment, he suddenly arose with a bad light in his eyes. He was, I could see, no longer a good, kind man with music in his heart. He was now a fierce hunter. He had discovered the doorway to the mouse's home. It was a very small hole near a corner. ये रहा. Oh ho! He shouted like a savage. Is something the matter? I inquired. Aha! Papa exclaimed. He kneeled down and peeked into the mouse's home. Don't let him kill the mouse. I demanded silently of the Lord. Fair is fair. I have learned already twice the number of Bible verse I am supposed to learn, and you have hardly noticed me at all. Papa is Papa, and I love and respect him. But you know and I know the mouse is my friend. Imagine, God से demand कर रहा है ये बच्चा कि इस mouse को बचा लो. This was the first time I had ever given the Lord orders, and I was not so sure I had used the most politic method. भाई एक तो भगवान को order दिया और वो भी कैसे? I tried to engage my father in conversation. What do you think I learned in school today? I asked eagerly. My father replied without looking up, very little, no doubt, and that little of more harm than good. क्यों कहा पापा ने ऐसा? समझ ही गए ना आप? I tried hard to think of something else to talk about when suddenly Papa jumped up, holding his nose and cried, "It has hurt me." The mouse apparently had scratched Papa's long nose. I could not help but laugh. You too would be angry if someone stuck his nose in your house, I said. Papa rubbed his nose and came back to the bed, a little confused. He began to repair my skating boot, and I sighed happily, thinking that he had abandoned his wild game hunt. Perhaps he had. But the mouse had not given up Papa. Foolish mouse. As soon as my father became comfortably seated on the bed, the mouse walked right out. Not only did he walk out, he stood up on two legs and looked my father calmly in the eye. It was as if he wished to say, "Look here, I did not mean to hurt your nose. It was an accident. The boy and I are friends. It is not easy to find a true friend in this world. For a small boy, it is difficult. For a mouse, it is almost impossible. Can we not talk this over, man to man?" Alas, my poor father, who understood so many lovely things so well, did not understand the mouse. He saw only a wild animal and lunged for it. The mouse, who apparently knew something of human nature, was intelligent enough to disappear. The next day, there was a trap with some cheese. I stole the cheese in the name of my friendship with the mouse. I could not do otherwise. भाई अगर वो चूहा आपका फ्रेंड होता तो आप भी कोशिश करते ना कि वो उस ट्रैप में ना फंसे. The following day, Papa, seeing neither cheese nor mouse, remarked pointedly, "Aha! What a remarkable mouse it is we have here, huh? He eats the cheese and yet he does not spring the trap." I rolled my eyes and tried to look as much as possible like a cherub in the Sunday school pictures. बड़ा angel type look लाने की कोशिश करी उस बच्चे ने. Such a thing is possible for a very smart mouse. Papa looked me in the eye. "It is not possible," he said firmly. "But what is most possible is that a small boy with a vacant head is removing the cheese from the trap." "What small boy would do such a thing?" I inquired. "You will find him in the mirror," said Papa. He then forbade me to touch the cheese. It was a direct command of the first degree and had to be obeyed. Once more I prayed for the mouse. "Dear Lord, I saved the mouse once. What I can do, certainly you can do. If the worst comes to the worst, remove the mouse from the temptation of the cheese. Lead him not into temptation, but deliver him from the evil trap." सोचिए क्या प्रेयर थी गॉड को कि अगर आप नहीं भी बचा सकते माउस को तो कम से कम इतना तो कर दो कि वो उस चीज़ को देख के टेम्प्ट ना हो. ना चीज़ को देख के टेम्प्ट होगा, ना ही ट्रैप में फंसेगा. Nevertheless, I awaited with terror in my heart the end of my friend, my proven friend. I opened the subject with Mama. If you have a friend whose loyalty is proven, you stand by this friend when others wish him harm, don't you? You are right, she replied. Aha, I shouted triumphantly. Then why do we have to catch the mouse? My mother opened her eyes wide and stood up quickly. Mouse, she repeated nervously. What mouse? Where is the mouse? Papa put down his newspaper. He looked at me across the room with a wise smile. I could see I had made a fatal strategic error. Mama was afraid of mice. The boy, my father said quietly, has in his room a mouse. They are friends, these two. So the boy claims. The mouse has said nothing. भाई mouse वैसे भी कहाँ बोल सकता है? Set the trap, cried Mama. Set the trap. The trap was set, my father explained patiently, but the mouse removed the cheese without springing the trap. That is impossible, my mother said. She turned to me. I forbid you to remove the cheese. You understand? I will not remove the cheese, I promised sadly. But it is only a coward who stands still while his best friend is killed with low tricks. Listen to him sing, Papa exclaimed, a little upset. Mama herself has said this is one of the things one does not do, I argued. But a mouse, my mother countered, is different. A friend is a friend, I said. At least if you wish to fight my friend, you could fight fair, not with traps. Oh! Name of 1,001 names, Papa cried. Shall I make a tail for myself and get down on my hands and knees and bite the mouse with my teeth? Papa went upstairs and set the trap with an unfairly large and unusually attractive piece of cheese. I sighed. I could see it was no use. The mouse could be saved now only by the good Lord. When I awakened in the morning, the cheese was still there. I jumped out of bed, kneeled down and told the Lord, "Lord has been merciful." Then I dressed and bounded joyfully down to breakfast, humming gaily. I ate my oatmeal in bliss. Just as I had finished, there was a scampering above us, जैसे चूहे के भागने की आवाज़. "Is that?" Papa asked. "Perhaps the mouse?" I held my breath and prayed one more time. Mama was busy making toast and said nothing. In a few moments, there was the sound of scampering again. This time it was very close. "Does the mouse know even the way downstairs?" Papa asked in surprise. I did not answer him. I busied myself putting jam on my toast. Halfway through the toast, I felt as if something soft had touched my feet. I looked down. There was the mouse, reeling, wobbling, struggling towards my feet. When he saw my friend, my father stood up hastily. I do not know what he intended to do. Perhaps protect Mama. It does not matter. In a few seconds, the mouse rolled over at my feet, dead. He did not die, however, before he had said something to me with his eyes. शायद दोस्त होने के कारण ये बच्चा उस चूहे की आंखों में कुछ पढ़ सकता था. My father rushed upstairs and came back, exclaiming, "Astonishing! The cheese was removed from the trap. One imagines the trap that sprang and struck the mouse in the jaw. Imagine it. This is the mouse who had died from a punch in the jaw." The wonder of it did not impress me. I knew the mouse was a brave one. But I did not know about myself. For with his eyes, the mouse seemed to have said to me, "Look, I was your friend and you have killed me. But here is the wonder. I am still your friend. See, I come to die at your feet and to forgive you. It is easy to love those who are kind to you. It is a terrible but necessary thing to love those who have betrayed you." Perhaps the mouse did not mean anything of the sort. Maybe it was my own heart speaking, learning, growing up. "Papa," I asked quietly, "is there a heaven for the mouse?" Yes, Papa said unhappily. "There is for everyone a heaven." Mama, who had been white and silent through the tragedy, now spoke meekly. "After this, let us get a large cat so that such matters will be out of our hands." Imagine, शायद जो मैसेज बच्चे को मिला कि जो हम पे एहसान करते हैं या हमारे साथ अच्छे होते हैं उनको माफ़ करना आसान है, लेकिन जो हमारे साथ कुछ बुरा करते हैं उनको माफ़ करना मुश्किल तो है मगर नेसेसरी है. अब ये मैसेज या तो उस चूहे की आँखों से बच्चे ने पढ़ा या उसको खुद ही समझ में आ गया.